What's up everyone, my name is Augustine and this YouTube channel is dedicated to my favorite band, the Beatles. So if you love the Beatles as much as I do, make sure you subscribe and you check out my other videos because you're definitely going to find them interesting. So today's video is called John Lennon's Letter to the Queen. So John Lennon sent the letter to the Queen in 1969. But to understand what happened better, we need to go back a few years because it was in 1965 when the Beatles went to Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen, and upon request of Prime Minister Harold Wilson, they were named members of the Order of the British Empire. That was a very exclusive royal honor, and back then that was reserved for military vets and civic leaders. So when the decision was announced, it was very controversial. Apparently, past recipients of MBEs returned their awards in protest at mere pop singers being awarded the same thing. But you know, it was the 60s, things were changing, and to that John Lennon replied, "They got their awards for killing people. We got ours for entertaining, so I would say we deserve ours better." So yes, it was in October 1965 when the Beatles went to Buckingham Palace, they met the Queen, and they were named members of the Order of the British Empire. That day, Buckingham Palace was full of Beatles fans, and actually there's footage of that, but not of the actual ceremony, of the actual meeting with the Queen. That's a shame. So if you Google the Beatles meeting the Queen, you're gonna find pictures and even footage of the Beatles meeting the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret. If you see pictures of the Beatles with the Queen, that is not the Queen. That's the Queen Mother or Princess Margaret. Of course, they're family, so they kind of look alike. You know, they're dressed like royals, so of course it might be a bit confusing, especially because, as I said, if you Google the Beatles meeting the Queen, you're gonna find these pictures. But yeah, just so you know, bear in mind that it's not the Queen. That was in 1963, actually, a few years before they met the Queen. The Beatles played at the Royal Command Performance. Actually, it's got two names, the Royal Command Performance or the Royal Variety Performance, but it's the same thing. It happened in 1963 at the Prince of Wales Theatre in central London. It was an annual performance and it was televised and it was for charity. So the tickets were very expensive and the audience was very highbrow, very distinguished. And that was when John Lennon made a very cheeky joke. He said, "The people in the cheaper seats, you can clap your hands, and the rest of you just rattle your jewelry." His humor towed the line a little bit, but the royals actually laughed and they found it funny. After that show, they met Princess Margaret and the Queen Mother, and there's footage of that, but no audio. But what they said, basically, the Queen Mother asked Paul when they're gonna play next, and Paul said they were playing in Slough, which is a town near London, and the Queen Mother said, "Oh, that's near us," because, you know, they lived at Windsor Castle, which is very close to Slough. But they never actually went to the gig. Anyway, so it was 1965, the Beatles were awarded the MBEs, they were named members of the Order of the British Empire. Fast forward a few years, it was 1969 when John Lennon became really iconoclastic and he sent a letter to the Queen with a copy sent to Prime Minister Harold Wilson. It reads, "I am returning my MBE as a protest against Britain's involvement in the Biafra-Nigeria thing, against our support of America in Vietnam, and against cold turkey slipping down in the charts. With love, John Lennon of Bag." There is a video of John Lennon explaining why he did that, and he said that he was starting to be ashamed of being British because of Britain's support of the American troops in Vietnam and the Nigeria Biafra thing, as he called it. So yeah, there's a video of him explaining. You can search it on YouTube. I would put it here, but it would get copyrighted. I tried it already on a different video and it didn't work. And that's why he gave back his MBE, which was huge, you know, because it's a big award. It's very important, and he gave it back. He said that he couldn't have done it privately because the press would have found out anyway, maybe like a week or two later, and it would have been the same but with less impact. So he made it public and he returned his MBE. At the end of the letter, it says that he was protesting against cold turkey slipping down in the charts. So that was a joke, I think. I suppose, because obviously the Queen has nothing to do with it. But Cold Turkey was a single by the Plastic Ono Band. And yes, apparently it was not doing very well in the charts. And then at the end, it says John Lennon of Bag. So Bag Productions was John Lennon and Yoko Ono's public relations company. As you can see, the note is written on a template headed Bag Productions 3 Savile Road, London, which is the Apple Core building, you know, the Beatles company's building. The company was named after Bagism. So Bagism was a concept that John and Yoko created, where you basically cover your entire body with a bag, and that way people can't really judge you based on your looks, on your age, your sex, your religion, your color, none of that. John Lennon mentioned Bagism in 3 songs. The first one was The Ballad of John and Yoko, where it says eating chocolate in a bag, which actually happened in Vienna. The second one is Come Together, where it literally says Bag Productions. And then the third song is Give Peace a Chance, where it says everyone's talking about Bagism. John Lennon said that if all they can achieve with this movement is just to give someone a laugh, they're willing to be the world's clowns, because the situation is very serious. So yeah, that's pretty much it. He sent this letter to the Queen, and with a copy sent to the Prime Minister, giving back his MBE, and he even included a joke in it. So very cheeky, very controversial. The other Beatles never done anything like that, of course. Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr even got knighted, which is like a step above later in their careers. And Paul actually went on to forge a sort of relationship with the Queen. He's played at the Queen's Jubilees a few times, and when Paul opened the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts, which is a school that he founded, the Queen was there to open it, and he even said that when he was a kid in Liverpool, all the kids in Liverpool fancied the Queen because she was maybe like 24 when they were like 14. So he literally said to us, she was a babe.
This thing people now, the generation now, can't understand is that guys my age, we were like, 14, very formative teenage years, and the Queen was sort of 24 or something. So to us, she was a babe. So we grew up loving the Queen for various reasons. I mean, now, you know, I'd be lucky enough to meet her. I just think she's a great woman.
Okay, this is pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Instagram or Facebook. And the most important thing is, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because all my videos are about the Beatles. So if you love the Beatles, you're definitely gonna love this channel. I have videos visiting very famous Beatles locations, like for example, Paul McCartney's house in London or Abbey Road Studios, all the Beatles' childhood homes in Liverpool, you name it. So check it out. Also, there is a PayPal link for donations. All donations will be absolutely appreciated. Thank you very much for watching until the end. See you next time. Bye.
Well, I'm afraid that's us run out of time.
Oh,
I'm really
okay.
sorry.
Well,
So,
thanks.
Bye, everyone.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I give my heart to you, I must be sure from the very